What if I told you that one of the most powerful tools available for protecting your heart, stabilizing your blood sugar, strengthening your bones, and restoring your digestion after 60 fits inside a single teaspoon? That it costs almost nothing, requires no prescription, and that most of my patients who start using it tell me the same thing within a few months, that they wish someone had told them sooner? I've been working with patients over 60 for years, and in that time, I've sat across from hundreds of people carrying variations of the same quiet fear. The exhaustion that doesn't go away no matter how much they sleep. The digestion that has become unpredictable and uncomfortable. The cholesterol numbers that keep creeping upward. The joints and bones that feel more fragile than they used to. And underneath all of it, a deeper worry that this is simply what getting older feels like. That decline is inevitable. That there isn't much left to do except manage it. I want to challenge that idea directly, because while the body does change after 60, and while it does require more deliberate care than it did at 40, many of the symptoms people attribute to aging are actually the result of something more specific. Years of small nutritional gaps, chronic low-grade inflammation that has been building quietly without obvious signs, a gut microbiome that has been slowly depleted. These are not irreversible, and addressing them doesn't always require a new medication or a dramatic intervention. Sometimes it starts with 2 small seeds. I'm Dr. Jake Taylor, and today I'm going to tell you about chia seeds and flax seeds, not as a miracle cure, not as a replacement for medical care, but as 2 of the most nutritionally concentrated, research-supported foods available for the specific challenges that come with aging after 60. I'm going to explain exactly what each one does in your body, which one is right for your particular situation, and how to use them correctly so that you actually get the benefits. Write your country in the comments, and if you're new here, subscribe and turn on notifications. I make these videos every week for people who want real, evidence-based information about health after 60. Let me tell you about Helen. She was 67 when she first came to see me. She was managing her blood pressure with medication. Her cholesterol was borderline, and her digestion had become what she described as completely unreliable. She was constipated more often than not, bloated most afternoons, and exhausted in a way that sleep didn't fix. She had cut back on a long list of foods she thought were causing problems. Her diet had become smaller and blander with every passing year, and she still didn't feel well. I feel like my body is working against me, she said. I'm doing everything right, and I still feel terrible. When I looked at what she was actually eating, the picture became clear. She had eliminated almost all fiber-rich foods trying to avoid discomfort. Her gut microbiome was being starved. The bacteria that support immune function, mood, nutrient absorption, and digestive regularity were getting almost nothing to work with. Her inflammation markers were elevated. Her omega-3 intake was essentially 0. We made one initial change: 1 tablespoon of chia seeds in her morning yogurt and 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed in her oatmeal. Nothing else different for the first month. 6 weeks later, her digestion had normalized for the first time in years. Her afternoon energy had improved noticeably. At her 3-month follow-up, her cholesterol had moved in the right direction, and her inflammation markers had come down. I kept waiting for the complicated answer, she told me. I didn't expect it to be something this simple. Today I'm going to explain exactly why it worked, and what it can do for you. Chia seeds, what they actually do inside your body. After 60 chia seeds have been eaten for thousands of years, ancient civilizations used them as a concentrated energy source precisely because they understood, even without modern biochemistry, that something this small was doing something significant. Modern research has confirmed what those civilizations observed, and for adults over 60 specifically, the benefits of chia seeds address some of the most pressing health concerns that come with aging. The first and most important benefit for cardiovascular health is their omega-3 fatty acid content. Chia seeds are one of the richest plant-based sources of alpha-linolenic acid, the omega-3 that your body uses to reduce inflammation, support arterial flexibility, and lower triglycerides. Think of your arteries as pipes. Over decades, a combination of cholesterol, inflammation, and oxidative stress gradually stiffens and narrows those pipes. Omega-3 fatty acids work to keep the walls of those pipes more flexible and to reduce the inflammatory processes that damage them. Patients who add chia seeds to a thoughtful diet consistently show improvements in triglyceride levels and inflammatory markers over time. Not overnight, but steadily, month after month. The second benefit is fiber, and specifically the type of fiber that chia seeds provide. They are extraordinarily rich in soluble fiber. When chia seeds contact liquid, they absorb it and form a thick gel. You've seen this if you've ever left chia seeds in water for a few minutes. That gel is what happens inside your digestive system as well. This gel does several things simultaneously. It slows the absorption of glucose from your meal, moderating the blood sugar spikes that cause energy crashes in the afternoon, and that, over time, contribute to insulin resistance. It feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut, the microbiome that supports immune function, mood regulation, and the absorption of nutrients you're eating but perhaps not fully using. And it moves through the digestive tract in a way that naturally addresses constipation, one of the most common and uncomfortable complaints I hear from patients over 60, without the urgency or discomfort that some other fiber interventions cause. The third benefit is bone health. This is one that surprises people. Chia seeds are an excellent source of calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus, the three minerals that work together to maintain bone density. Calcium gets the attention, but without magnesium and phosphorus, calcium cannot be properly incorporated into bone tissue. Chia seeds provide all three in meaningful amounts. For adults over 60 who are monitoring bone density, this combination matters. Finally, chia seeds provide complete plant protein, meaning they contain all the essential amino acids. After 60, maintaining muscle mass becomes one of the most important factors in preserving independence, preventing falls, and maintaining metabolic health. Chia seeds alone won't replace protein from other sources, but as part of a broader dietary approach, they contribute meaningfully to daily protein intake. There is one more benefit of chia seeds that I want to mention specifically because it is rarely discussed and because it matters enormously to the patients I see over 60. Antioxidant protection. Chia seeds contain quercetin, chlorogenic acid, and kaempferol, compounds that neutralize free radicals, the unstable molecules that accelerate cellular aging, damage arterial walls, and contribute to the chronic inflammation that underlies so many conditions that become more common after 60. This antioxidant activity works synergistically with the omega-3 content. The omega-3 reduces inflammatory signaling, while the antioxidants reduce the oxidative damage that drives inflammation in the first place. Together, they address cardiovascular risk from two distinct angles simultaneously. Research has also linked the antioxidants in chia seeds to eye health, specifically to the protection of retinal tissue from oxidative stress. For adults over 60 who are managing or concerned about macular degeneration, this is a meaningful additional benefit from a food you are already eating for other reasons. Dorothy was 71 and had been told by her doctor that her bone density scans showed early signs of concern. She was reluctant to start medication immediately and wanted to know what dietary changes might help. We added chia seeds as one component of a broader nutritional approach. At her 18-month scan, the decline had slowed meaningfully. Her doctor was satisfied enough to continue monitoring rather than moving to medication. "I didn't think food could make that kind of difference," she said, "but the numbers are the numbers." The practical guidance is straightforward. 1 to 2 tablespoons per day is the therapeutic range. Always soak chia seeds in liquid for at least 10 to 15 minutes before consuming them. This activates the gel, improves digestibility, and eliminates the small but real risk of dry seeds expanding in the esophagus, which can cause discomfort, particularly for older adults who may have any difficulty swallowing. Add them to yogurt, oatmeal, smoothies, or water with lemon. Their flavor is nearly neutral, and they adapt to almost anything. Flax seeds, the seed, most people overlook and shouldn't. Flaxseed is older than chia. It has been cultivated for over 10,000 years and was considered medicinally valuable by ancient physicians across multiple cultures. Modern science has given us a much more precise understanding of why that reputation was deserved. Like chia seeds, flax seeds are rich in omega-3 fatty acids and fiber. They share the cardiovascular and digestive benefits I described. But flax seeds have something chia does not, and for adults over 60, it may be the most important nutritional compound in either seed. Lignans. Lignans are plant compounds with two distinct properties. They are powerful antioxidants, meaning they neutralize the oxidative damage that accelerates cellular aging, and they are phytoestrogens, meaning they interact with estrogen receptors in the body in a mild, modulating way. For women after menopause, this second property is particularly significant. The sharp drop in estrogen that accompanies menopause contributes to hot flashes, bone loss, cardiovascular risk, and tissue changes throughout the body. Lignans from flaxseed can bind to estrogen receptors and exert a gentle balancing effect that helps moderate some of these symptoms. Research has shown meaningful reductions in hot flash frequency and severity with regular flaxseed consumption in postmenopausal women. For men over 60, the antioxidant properties of lignans support prostate health and provide cardiovascular protection through a different but equally valuable pathway. Flaxseed also contains the highest lignin concentration of any food on Earth by a significant margin. Nothing else comes close. Beyond lignans, flaxseed has impressive cardiovascular data specifically around blood pressure. Multiple studies have shown that regular consumption of ground flaxseed produces meaningful reductions in both systolic and diastolic blood pressure over periods of several months. For patients managing hypertension, this doesn't replace medication, but it can be a meaningful complement to it. Beyond its hormonal effects, the fiber profile of flaxseed deserves specific attention. Unlike chia seeds, which are predominantly soluble fiber, flaxseed contains a significant proportion of insoluble fiber as well. This distinction matters. Soluble fiber forms the gel that slows glucose absorption and feeds beneficial gut bacteria. Insoluble fiber adds bulk to stool and accelerates transit time through the colon. For adults over 60 who struggle with slow digestion, this combination is particularly valuable. The soluble fiber in flaxseed feeds the microbiome. The insoluble fiber keeps things moving. Together, they address both the functional and microbial aspects of digestive health in ways that neither type of fiber can achieve alone. Several of my patients who had tried chia seeds alone for digestive issues and found the results incomplete noticed a meaningful improvement when they added ground flaxseed to their routine. The combination provided what each seed individually could not. James was 73 and had been on blood pressure medication for 8 years. His numbers were controlled but at the higher end of acceptable. He added 2 tablespoons of freshly ground flaxseed to his breakfast daily. 3 months later, his readings had improved enough that his doctor reduced his medication dose. "I've been on that dose for years," he said. "Nothing I did before moved it." Now the critical detail about flax seeds that determines whether you get any benefit at all. They must be ground. Whole flax seeds have an outer shell that the human digestive system cannot break down. They pass through intact, taking all their omega-3, lignans, and fiber with them. Eating whole flax seeds is nutritionally equivalent to eating nothing. You are paying for nutrients you will never absorb. Grind them fresh at home using a small coffee grinder. Grind a few days' supply at a time and store it in a sealed glass container in the refrigerator. Ground flaxseed oxidizes quickly when exposed to air and light, so storage matters. If you buy pre-ground flaxseed, choose an opaque package and refrigerate it immediately after opening. Chia or flax? Which one is right for you? The honest answer is that you don't need to choose between them. They complement each other in ways that make combining them the most effective approach. But understanding what each one does best helps you prioritize based on your specific situation. Chia seeds are the better choice if your primary concerns are blood sugar stability and energy management, digestive regularity and gut health, bone density and mineral intake, or convenience, since chia requires no grinding and has a neutral taste that disappears into almost anything. Flax seeds are the better choice if your primary concerns are hormonal balance after menopause, blood pressure management, deeper cardiovascular protection through lignans, or inflammation reduction as a central goal. For most of my patients, I recommend both. 1 tablespoon of soaked chia seeds and 1 tablespoon of freshly ground flaxseed daily. Together, they provide omega-3 from 2 complementary sources, the gel-forming soluble fiber of chia alongside the combined soluble and insoluble fiber of flax, the calcium and magnesium of chia alongside the lignans of flax. The combination is more comprehensive than either seed alone. Margaret was 69 and came to me after her annual physical had flagged several concerns simultaneously: borderline cholesterol, blood pressure at the high end of normal, early bone density concerns, and persistent digestive discomfort that had been affecting her quality of life for 2 years. Rather than addressing each concern with a separate intervention, we started with one daily habit: 1 tablespoon of soaked chia seeds in her morning yogurt and 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed stirred into her oatmeal. 4 months later, every one of her flagged numbers had moved in the right direction, not dramatically, but consistently and measurably. Her digestion had normalized within 6 weeks. My doctor asked what I'd changed, she said. When I told her it was seeds, she looked at me like I was joking. Then she looked at the numbers and stopped joking. How to use them correctly. The details that determine whether it works. The right foods eaten the wrong way provide a fraction of their potential benefit. This section matters as much as everything before it. Start slowly. If you are not currently eating significant amounts of fiber, introducing 1 to 2 tablespoons of these seeds immediately can cause bloating, gas, and digestive discomfort. This is not dangerous, but it is unpleasant, and it causes people to stop. Begin with half a tablespoon daily for the first week. If your digestion responds comfortably, move to 1 full tablespoon in week 2. Build gradually toward the full recommended amount over 3 to 4 weeks. Your gut microbiome needs time to adapt to the increased fiber supply. Hydration is non-negotiable. Chia seeds absorb up to 12 times their weight in water. Flax seeds are similarly absorbent. If you increase fiber intake without increasing water intake proportionally, the result is the opposite of what you're aiming for. Instead of relieving constipation, you risk worsening it. For every tablespoon of seeds you add to your daily routine, drink an additional 1 to 2 glasses of water throughout the day. This is the rule that most people skip and the one that causes most of the problems. Always soak chia seeds before eating them. 10 to 15 minutes in any liquid is sufficient. The gel that forms is easier to digest and eliminates the small risk associated with dry seeds. Always grind flax seeds before eating them. Whole flax seeds pass through the digestive system without releasing their nutrients. There are no exceptions to this. A small coffee grinder handles this easily and takes 30 seconds. For practical incorporation, chia seeds work beautifully in overnight preparations. Mix 1 tablespoon of chia seeds with half a cup of milk or yogurt the evening before, refrigerate overnight, and in the morning you have a ready-to-eat pudding that can be topped with fruit or nuts. Some of my patients add a pinch of cinnamon and a few blueberries, which adds additional antioxidant value to an already nutritious breakfast. Ground flaxseed can be stirred into oatmeal, blended into smoothies, or mixed into yogurt just before eating. Its nutty flavor is mild enough that it disappears into most preparations. Another option that several of my patients have found convenient is mixing both seeds together in a small jar at the beginning of the week. 1 tablespoon of chia and 1 of freshly ground flax per daily portion, so the preparation is done in advance and the daily habit requires no thought. The less friction between you and a good habit, the more consistently it gets done. Consistency is what produces results with these seeds. 1 tablespoon occasionally makes almost no difference. 1 tablespoon daily for 3 months changes measurable health markers. One important caution: if you take blood thinners, blood pressure medication, or diabetes medication, discuss adding these seeds with your doctor before starting. The omega-3 in both seeds has a mild anticoagulant effect. The fiber in both seeds can enhance the glucose-lowering effect of diabetes medication. The blood pressure effects of flaxseed are real enough that they can affect medication requirements over time. None of this means you cannot use these seeds. It means your doctor should be aware and can monitor appropriately. Your 30-day challenge. I want to leave you with something specific, not a vague suggestion to eat better. A concrete challenge with a clear timeline and a way to measure whether it's working. For the next 30 days, add 1 tablespoon of soaked chia seeds and 1 tablespoon of freshly ground flaxseed to your daily routine. Increase water intake by 2 glasses per day. Keep everything else in your diet the same so that you can clearly observe what changes. Track how you feel in 3 specific areas: your digestion and regularity, your energy, particularly in the afternoon when many people over 60 experience a noticeable slump, and your appetite and cravings, since the fiber and satiety effects of these seeds often reduce the mid-morning or mid-afternoon hunger that leads to less healthy snacking. If you have blood work scheduled in the next 3 to 6 months, note your baseline numbers now: cholesterol, triglycerides, fasting glucose, blood pressure. Then look at those same numbers after consistent use and let the data tell the story. Robert was 74. He came to me skeptical about nutrition-based interventions, as many of my most analytically minded patients are. He liked data. I gave him a protocol and told him to track everything. 30 days in, his digestion had normalized after years of irregularity. 90 days in, his triglycerides had dropped by 20 points and his fasting glucose had improved. "You told me to let the numbers speak," he said. "The numbers are speaking." Leave a comment telling me which of these 2 seeds you're going to start with, or whether you've already tried them and what you noticed. Your experience matters to the people who will read these comments and be deciding whether to try this themselves. If this video gave you something useful, share it with someone over 60 who is managing any of the concerns we talked about today: cholesterol, blood pressure, digestion, bone health, energy. The information is simple. The habit is simple. And for many people, it produces results that are anything but simple. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm Dr. Jake Taylor. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.